Jesus continues his Sermon on the Mount. Now, at the beginning of chapter 6, he talks about giving to the needy. And then he says to do it in private and not for the attention of others. Now, he's not saying that if you were to get caught or someone knows what you're doing in this act of charity that you lost or you're a sinner. He's simply saying the motive behind it. Are you doing it for the genuine love for others, or are you doing it for the attention of yourself? Now, the next topic that Jesus mentions is the Lord's Prayer. Now, here's where we find Jesus giving us an example of how to pray. Now, this wasn't meant to be repeated every day or word for word, but instead be an example to us of how to talk to the Father. Jesus then warned again about doing things for yourself rather than out of love or for God. In this instance, he's talking about fasting. Fasting was to abstain from all or some kinds of food and drink. They did this to humble themselves before God. Now today, people aren't sounding trumpets to show their good deeds, but they still know how to call attention to their giving. People would fast so that they could focus their thoughts on God. Jesus then goes on and talks about not having our worldly treasures here on earth, but instead in heaven. Rather than having our thoughts on things here on earth and being distracted by what's here, Jesus wants our focus to be on heaven, where our possessions will never be destroyed. Jesus says no one can serve two masters. He warns us that we cannot love our money and Jesus, but that we must choose one over the other. Again, it goes back to motive. Are you using the blessings that God has given you for yourself? Or are you giving it back to God through ministry or through your church? God's next topic is not to be anxious or worried. Now, while we're allowed to feel those things, he wants us to rely on him whenever those things come up, saying, do not worry about tomorrow, because tomorrow will worry about itself. Instead of worrying about getting things in life and things we can't control, we can focus on God and the things he gives us and the blessings he has for us. If he takes care of the flowers that aren't even seen by anyone, how much more do you think he cares about you? Well, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Before you leave, here are today's 3 questions. The first question is, what are some things in your life that you could fast from? Second question, what are some things that you've been anxious or worried about that you can give to God today? The third question, talk to your community, your church, your school, your family, and see how you can give to the needy and bless others. Thank you so much for joining us, and I will see you next time. Bye.